Day! Hi, I'm Myda from The Shared Edge, and I'm with Suncear, as always, from Suncear Wellness, and we are the Edge of the Sun. And we're going to talk about Leap Day, what to do with this extra day of the year. Suncear is going to take us through the energies that are happening in the world in this special day, and then I'll do a little sound meditation, and we'll reconvene.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, it is Leap Day today as of this recording. As it's going to show, it's not going to be Leap Day anymore, but that's okay because how we're looking at this is that it is an extra day to do something different. It's just encouraging us. And I got this idea because I'm a fan of the show Frasier. You know Frasier, right? And so they did an episode where Frasier was suggesting that or encouraging people to do something that they don't normally do on this leap day because it's a once in every 4 years situation. And so I never looked at leap year like that. And you know what's so funny too? I feel like it snuck up on us also. I feel like it's leap year again. It's like 4 years has gone by. So anyway, so it just encouraged me to start looking at this day as something special. So it's a time to do something special. And I think because we're also in Pisces season as well, Pisces has this dreamy energy, this energy of creativity and kind of following your own path. So this is a great time for us to do something out of the ordinary, something that we've been wanting to do but just for whatever reason felt like we were too in our heads about. It's it's too much money, it's we don't have enough time, or whatever the excuses are that we have. And I also think this speaks a little bit to the solar plexus chakra because, and I'm bringing this up because Myda and I had a class last week on manifesting with the chakras, and we were covering the solar plexus, and we talked about taking action and how when you are asking to manifest something or you're calling something forth, you need to take some action. You need to make some decisions. You need to have courage to do things that you wouldn't normally do. And so I think this is all speaking to this time of year and this day, which is encouraging us to step outside of what we normally do, step outside of the routine. And it's interesting because Pisces is also the opposite of Virgo, and Virgo energy is about the routine, is about the details. So don't worry about the details. Just figure out what it is that's in your heart that you really want to do, that you've been putting off, and you have an extra day this year to make it happen. So that's what we're going to do today using sound, oh, thanks. That's probably the most distinct one I've ever done.
I'm inspired.
Usually pretty verbose. But yeah, so we're gonna do Maida's gonna do her thing on the bowls there, and I'm going to simultaneously be doing the Reiki, and then we'll reconvene and we'll talk about what images came up. And we also always encourage you all to share whatever came up for you all. So I think that's about it. Anything else, Maida Lorida?
No, we'll get into it just to practice how to get in touch with those exact feelings and energies and how we can use it, right? So, sounds cool. All
Great.
right. Right, so it'll just be about 5 or so minutes, just a little moment to drop in. So hopefully you have a little time to get in a comfortable position where you can close your eyes. If you have headphones, that's great. If you don't worry about it, but just allowing yourself to really drop in to the sort of stiller waters beneath the turbulent surface, speak in Pisces. So whenever you're ready, close your eyes. Take a few deeper, longer, maybe a little bit more full breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Often we're always so busy thinking that we don't have enough time, not enough money, not enough energy. But here we're actually given a whole extra day. got lots to do, but you always have a moment to drop in. Check in with your heart's desire. Really letting yourself settle down from the turbulent surface into the quieter stillness of the heart, the deeper heart. And just allowing yourself to peruse what you want to do. If you did have infinite amount of time and energy and money, let yourself be in that place where there is no restriction, just full freedom. What would you do? Or what have you always wanted to do but never had the time or the energy or the money? Maybe it's learning a language or going on a trip, working on a book of poetry, who knows? All the little inspirations that we put aside. Or maybe they're even bigger. Maybe you want to start your own nonprofit, your own wellness center, buy a house. Before all the excuses of time, not enough energy, not enough money, just let yourself really feel the heart get excited about the possibility of having those things. And really let that vibration move through your system. Take a deep breath in and then exhale it out. And just take a moment, if you'd like, to work backwards. Obviously, if it's something smaller, the steps backwards are pretty easy. So if maybe you always wanted to learn a language, that step is to just look for classes in your area. Maybe if it is something big like creating your own nonprofit, maybe it's just starting to research how you would even do that. Just slowly walking yourself back to this moment. Maybe some of the steps along the path are a little bit cloudy. That's okay. You just have to find one step, one little leap forward. And if you did have any insights or reflections that are notable, perhaps you just sit with it for a moment or maybe even write them down. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just feeling your feet on the ground or your seat on its cushion, landing right where you are as the place where you can really start to go any direction that you choose. You just have to choose it. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Nice. So, what came up on my end? Very dreamy stuff. It almost seemed like it was a cartoon come to life or something like that at first. There was a mermaid that was just sort of, just swimming through. And then I saw a huge moon, huge. It was like, it almost seemed like it was right in front of me. And I wasn't sure if that was for us to dream. I guess now that I'm saying it, it probably was because, the moon has a lot to do with our emotions. And I was trying to figure out if it was saying something about our emotions in regard to doing something different. But I think it's probably more about dreams than anything. And along with the cartoony thing, it was almost like this meadow. And I saw like deer frolicking around and whatnot. So it really did seem like it was just this really pleasant animation that came to life, and it was almost like, oh, birds, like almost, like Snow White or something, where like birds are just like, around, and it's just this really, this really pleasant scene. And then I saw what looked like the Judgment card in tarot, which is this new day, and it felt like a new day. I actually felt the new day feeling before I saw the Judgment card. So it's sort of like a resurrection, if you will. But I mean, not that I think that what you are gonna do in your leap day is about, it needs to be some big revolution. I just think that it's a potential to shift things for you, and to make things more clear, or make things more fun, or it's like you're opening yourself up to something. I feel is what was being said by doing something different. And then it's almost like rebirthing in a way. There's some sort of rebirth that can potentially happen by doing something that you've wanted to do and been putting off, because your soul is calling for you to do it. I think people just ignore that because they feel like they have to deal with the practical things. And then I saw this vast ocean, and immediately I saw the Queen of Cups sitting in front with her cup there. And my interpretation of this card a lot of times is that there is so much out there for you, and you just have to have your cup ready and ask for it. It's just ready to just leap right on in there. Leap year. And that was not intended. It just came out. So it's speaking through me. And Merlin, lastly, was what I saw. Also, Merlin shows up a lot in these visions. And I saw him with his wand that had the sparkles all around it. So it just was magic. That's all I could feel, was that there was a magical energy. Interestingly enough, I kept getting a lot of blank vision, which is unusual for me because usually my mind is all over the place. But there's a lot of blankness. And I think that was telling me about a blank slate, like not having any expectation, or again, not having to worry about the details, or just, I mean, it's okay, like you said in the meditation, start by signing up for a class or doing research or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying people shouldn't do anything. I'm just saying that just to not have any expectation, I think, is what the blank slate was about.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was what showed up there, folks. That's the joint. That's the jam. Yeah. So time to go out there and do the thing, whatever that thing is, you know, step to it.
Chance, right? Just gotta kind of leap and see what happens. And it is scary, especially if it is something really new or different. Um, but I don't know. I always find that anytime I've done that, it's always been awesome. Like once you do finally land, you're like, wow, I have no idea where this is going, but it ends up being an experience that was worth it. even in the end, you know. So
Yeah, and you know what you just reminded me when you said that? That the moon probably was saying something about emotions, because maybe it's not about thinking about it, because the thing that scares us is are our thoughts about it.
mhm.
We're constantly coming up with these horrible scenes that can happen, and why don't we just go with our feelings, like dropping down into the sensory part of ourselves rather than constantly coming up with these scenarios that are only in our heads.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes too, the feeling is scary, right? Like even like, but that's kind of what it's that's exciting when you feel that sort of fear of excitement. That's they're almost like side by side.
Mhm.
So it's just like, okay, am I gonna just like not do it because of the fear or do it because of the excitement?
I know. It really is like how you look at it too, because fear really could be transformed into excitement.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Uh, No,
Yeah.
you're right. It is like side by side. It could be the same energy. It's just how you look at it.
Yeah. So
Cool.
go for it.
Yeah.
Go peeps.
Cool.
Or come join us in Bali in July, where we'll really get all into it to bring it out.
That's a leap too. And not that I want to do the shameless plug, but
Ooh.
it really is a leap, because the one thing that we keep getting as far as resistance is, oh, I don't know about the money, and but they, people say they want to go, and then it becomes this thing that it's something they keep putting impediments in front of. And don't get me wrong, I get it. I'm not judging people's financial situations or whatever. I understand. I've been there myself. I'm just saying that there are times when if there's something that you really want to do, it's, you have to just go for it and take a leap. And maybe it's not about the money, and maybe you do need to find the time. If it's calling you, then do it. And that's for anything, not just our retreat, but come on our retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also have a class that we're doing, speaking of manifestation and bringing things forth. Our next class is on the 21st of March. It is at 7 p.m. on Zoom, and we're going to be covering the sacral chakra, which is one of my favorites. It's the mother chakra, I like to call it. So that's going to be a really important one to go over. And did I miss anything?
Nope, I think that's it. That's all we got.
Some blossom. Okay, everybody.
Thanks for listening. See you
Cheers.
next.